Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 6th, and the senators in this country have unveiled their long-awaited border deal, and it's a foreign aid package with assistance for Ukraine and Israel. They sent this thing on to Congress on Sunday. Now, the way Congress is set up, the legislation is at risk because it's failing as House Republicans appear set to reject it. The $118 billion deal gives President Joe Biden far-reaching powers to restrict illegal migrant crossings at the southern border. It also provides aids to key U.S. allies abroad, including billions of dollars to support Ukraine and for security assistance to Israel. And then it also includes some humanitarian assistance for the citizens of Gaza. But the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, has declared the deal dead on arrival after he read the text. I don't know if he could really read, but he read the text. And Johnson attacks the deal as too weak, saying the Congress will instead vote this week on a standalone bill providing aid to Israel. So everything else in the deal that Biden put together in the Senate, or the senators put together for Biden, Mike Johnson is kind of throwing in the toilet. Now, this bill is a product of months of bipartisan negotiation. And a trio of senators, Chris Murphy from Connecticut, Independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema, and Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma, one of the chamber's most conservative Republicans, have worked on this deal. But the former President Donald Trump doesn't like this deal. And Johnson, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who's supposed to have an open mind, has attacked the deal as too weak. And their opposition, and I don't know why Trump has anything to say about this deal, and their opposition threatens to derail the legislation. Now, this compromise would implement strict limits along the U.S. southern border, and we know how hard that has been to come to, and how badly that is needed. So we would have strict limits on the southern border that have not ever before been signed into law and would in effect severely curtail asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border. Now, that's a break. That's a change from the decades-long protocol. But apparently, that's not good enough for the Republicans. But that's a major, major consideration when anybody can come to the border and ask for asylum. And 99% of them don't really need asylum, but they say they want asylum, and that's what they've been using to get into this country. So this bill cuts that out or limits it severely. Now, the House Majority Leader Steve Scalise also slammed the deal on Sunday evening and said it will not get a vote on in the chamber. So that's a move that will put more pressure on the Senate Republicans, because that's what they want to do. They want to pressure the Republicans in the Senate to come along with those in the majority in the House. 2 or 3 people. That's the majority of the Republicans in the House. They did a disaster in the last November election. They couldn't fill enough seats to get a real majority. So you have a situation in the House that maybe the House won't be able to overturn it. Maybe there'll be 2 or 3 Republicans who step up to the plate and say this is a good deal. So Steve Scalise said, let me be clear, the Senate border bill will not receive a vote in the House. So they're not even going to vote on it. They're going to sit on it. So let me give you some numbers. According to the Senate Appropriations Committee, this bill includes roughly $60 billion to support Ukraine in its war against Russia. There's $14.1 billion in security assistance for Israel, and a whopping $20 billion for operational needs and capabilities at the border to provide the proper resources for new border policies. That's an amount that rises above the $14 billion that Biden originally asked for. So the Senate is really serious about what has to be done at the border. And it's about time somebody took that seriously, because we have laxed so badly in that area that this country is in turmoil. And we have many in this country that hate having immigrants coming into this country. And that is reflected in the stances of the congressmen, because they represent those people who are against the immigrants. Now, we need those immigrants. We don't have enough people to fill all the vacant jobs that we have in this country. But we do need to clean that system up desperately. So let's see what the Republicans have in store for us over the next couple of days or weeks or months. Because they claim, or their leadership has claimed, they're not even going to look at this bill. They're not going to do anything with it. They're going to let it sit and die. And that's a tactic that McConnell used for years and years when he was running the Senate. He would let bills sit there. The only thing that came to the floor was something that he wanted on the floor. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We have 535 people working hard to get stuff done, and one person can keep their work on the sidelines if he disagrees with it. That's a pretty stupid way to run a country also. But right now, we have 435 people who can't get their act together. And they are threatening what the 100 senators came up. And that's okay for them to disagree, but to chuck the whole bill, to say it's worthless, that's a disgrace. There's got to be some good things in there. It's impossible for 100 intelligent people to put something together that stinks. So in my mind, Congress is not doing their job for the country. They're going to start from scratch and put out a bill that's their own idea. And what are the senators going to do with that? They will come back and throw it out. So this is something that needs to be settled. We need to get a working government, a cooperative government, one that sees the good in both sides and is able to take the shit out. And so I leave you with that this morning, a mess in the halls of Congress, in the halls of the Senate. Take care. Bye.